And People's National Party candidate for East Portland, Colin Bell, has expressed concern over the current state of the physical infrastructure at Titchfield and Happy Grove High Schools in the parish. With the new school year set to get underway Monday, Mr. Bell says he is alarmed by the fact that both institutions remain under significant construction, raising serious doubts about their readiness. Mr. Bell, who visited the construction site of both schools, asserted that Happy Grove High will not be ready for Monday, while only a small number of students can currently be accommodated at Titchfield High School. According to Mr. Bell, following the passage of Hurricane Beryl, electricity was restored to both schools within 2 weeks, yet repairs have lagged significantly. The PNP candidate is calling for the authorities and the contractors to employ the strategy known as ganging the work, that is, to put additional manpower to work on the sites in order to complete the repairs within the shortest possible time. And the president of the People's National Party candidate for East Portland, Colin Bell, has expressed concern over the current state of the physical infrastructure at Titchfield and Happy Grove High Schools in the parish. With the new school year set to get underway Monday, Mr. Bell says he is alarmed by the fact that both institutions remain under significant construction, raising serious doubts about their readiness. Mr. Bell, who visited the construction site of both schools, asserted that Happy Grove High will not be ready for Monday, while only a small number of students can currently be accommodated at Titchfield High School. According to Mr. Bell, following the passage of Hurricane Beryl, electricity was restored to both schools within 2 weeks, yet repairs have lagged significantly. The PNP candidate is calling for the authorities and the contractors to employ the strategy known as ganging the work, that is, to put additional manpower to work on the sites in order to complete the repairs within the shortest possible time. And the president
morning,
of the
morning. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Portland Spice TV on YouTube. Portland Spice TV, we are also on Facebook. Yeah, man, and want to also invite you to join us on a Thursday night, on a Tuesday night. Yeah, Tuesday night. We come to you live on Styles FM. Yeah, man. Come to you live on Styles FM every Tuesday night with the Colin Bell Show. The Colin Bell Show. It's a paid program. It's a paid show. And we're inviting everybody to contribute to our GoFundMe. Keep the show on the road. Yeah, man. And right now, we are also stepping up the pace right here on Portland Spice TV, where we are inviting all representatives who wants to talk to us, including the GLP representatives, if they want to talk to us. We want to have everybody, because I believe that the people needs to be informed and get information about people who wants to represent them. Antidan, morning. Share up the link, peeps. Share up the link. I'm going to welcome some people to the platform this morning. We're going to talk to Miss Doreen Forbes, the MP candidate for West Portland. And we're going to talk to Dr. Ryan Simpson, the MP candidate for Northeast Senton. Yeah, man. We're talking about back to school. And hold on, we're going too far because we don't acknowledge the Almighty. We have to acknowledge the Lord Jesus Christ instead of us rushing at the program. Because we have to put Jesus Christ first. He's the author, he's the finisher, he's the director. He play all the lead role in the mission. So we thank you, Lord Jesus Christ, for your blessings. Thank you for your love. Thanks for permitting us to do what we do. And we ask that you continue to lead, that we are powered by your blood, the blood of Jesus Christ. In the name of Jesus Christ, we pray. Amen. So, yeah, We're going to talk to Dr. Ryan Simpson. And we're going to talk to Doreen Campbell. This is a piece of news clip.
And People's National Party candidate for East Portland, Colin Bell, has expressed concern over the current state of the physical infrastructure at Titchfield and Happy Grove High Schools in the parish. With the new school year set to get underway Monday, Mr. Bell says he is alarmed by the fact that both institutions remain under significant construction, raising serious doubts about their readiness. Mr. Bell, who visited the construction site of both schools, asserted that Happy Grove High will not be ready for Monday, while only a small number of students can currently be accommodated at Titchfield High School. According to Mr. Bell, following the passage of Hurricane Beryl, electricity was restored to both schools within 2 weeks, yet repairs have lagged significantly. The PNP candidate is calling for the authorities and the contractors to employ the strategy known as ganging the work, that is to put additional manpower to work on the sites in order to complete the repairs within the shortest possible time. And the president of the...
On TikTok, what my TikTok page? I want to follow me upon TikTok because my team insists that I have a TikTok account. So it's SHACKA fame. That's a TikTok page, right? Yeah. At SHACKA fame. Follow me upon TikTok. And you see we are addressing that matter. Where we have schools that are not ready for September morning. And we have to ask the question, why are they not ready? And you see, kudos to all who want to politicize everything, And kudos for who want to believe a false narrative. You want to believe a false narrative? That's up to you. Pringle, call me upon 804-7072. Put that number in your phone, man. I want to chat to you now. 804-7072. 876-804-7072. Put that in your phone, Pringle, and call me upon it. So, we're not going there. But you see, I'm telling you something, peeps. And I tell people about my politics and East Portland. And the people of East Portland. And the area, what East Portland possess. And that me I represent. I am representing the people of East Portland. And even those who want to sidetrack the representation. But it is my job as a member of the opposition to point out, if not being seen by the elected representative, but to point out to them what they're missing so it can be corrected. So obviously some people wanted me to be silent. And I also want the item to know that we not just do this, We check the school every year, every single year, because we have an interest in the education of our youth, of our people. That's why we are comrades. That's why we are socialists. We believe in equity, everybody if you have a chance. And when the plans are not ready, it is denying our children of a chance. Maybe you don't have a child going to a school in Port Antonio or in East Portland. Maybe you don't have a cousin and niece and nephew going to a school in East Portland, auntie or uncle. I want all our school them to be ready. We are too far behind. When you look at the passes at CXC, we are falling. And you want to ramp with education, but you're willing to dance on a piece of asphalt that you don't have nothing to do with putting down. Time come. And we are going to show the thing them. So on TikTok right now, gone over 50,000 views as it relates to the issue with Happy Grove and the issue with Titchfield. I saw an effort made to have a groundbreaking. In 2 weeks, a whole area was prepared, building demolished, clean up, everything move, level up. Look here, which is more important? But the item can prioritize what the item can want to prioritize. It is my responsibility, Auntie Plummy, to represent the people and look out for the children. When the children were getting home at midnight, I mean, it go out there, you know, because they don't. And somebody say in a comment that me always I said they don't care about us. But aren't these the signs? Aren't these the signs that says they don't care about us? If you not see it and me see it, me uncle can show you. Me uncle can show you. What are our priorities? And you see, it is broken down into smaller management layers. Yeah? So you have the local authority, which you have your parish council, and you have your central government representative, which is your member of parliament. And then you have the Ministry of Education. And it's just like how me have shown what went wrong with the whole approach with JPS. Why we're having a fight with JPS instead of working together with JPS. I'm waiting to see Doreen coming at the studio, but I'm not seeing her yet. Let me touch base with her. Because I'm waiting to see her in the studio, and I'm not seeing her yet. So if we're going to have to go via phone, then maybe that's what we have to do. Welcome to all the people on the platform. Auntie Elaine, good morning. You're not getting through? All right. Let me give you some more time to get in. All right. Yeah, man. So it is that kind of effort. These people are the leaders, you know, who are paid to bring your communities together, to get the things right on the ground, local, in your space. We had time, could I get the school them ready? Hurricane blew the 3rd of July. Within 2 weeks, those 2 schools had current. Yeah, man. So, give me it on the 804 there. 804-7072. We had time. I don't know my sinus I got this morning. So, we not just sit down. We go to the schools them. Those of you who listen on a Tuesday night would hear the interview with the principal at Titchfield. And maybe I should have find it. Maybe I should have find it and drop a little piece of it. Maybe I should find it. I should have find it and play a little piece and drop a little piece of it. Because you see, we understand what needs to be done. I would say my comrade and my sister in the chat room, in the waiting room. So I'm going to bring her in right away. Absolutely no delay. Bring her in right away. MP.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
We're good in a man. We're there here. We're there here. Welcome to Portland Spice TV. I think it's the first time we're bringing you on the platform.
Yes, my first time.
Right. All right. So we know we catch you at a time when you are pressed for some time as well. But quickly, how is back to school in your constituency?
Ah, what a topic. Back to school. Well, I visited a couple schools. And the one that stood out the most to me is Buff Bay High School. Buff Bay High School is the only high school on the western side of Portland. We don't have the we're not as fortunate as you guys in the east to have a couple of high schools. We only have one in Portland West, and it is Buff Bay High School. And I did a quick tour of the school, and I think the right word is to say I'm very disappointed. I'm disappointed that we have not paid enough attention to lift the standard of the Buff Bay High School. The classrooms are still in need of painting. The floors of the classroom have missing tiles, and when the tiles are missing, instead of replacing tiles, Colin, they mix up cement and fill it in. The walls still have all the graffiti, when they say Colin Bell was here, and all the designs
from years.
Jesus. When you look at when you drive through the schoolyard, from you enter Buff Bay High School, you see that Buff Bay High School needs the assistance of the authorities, because just driving in is a hill and gully coming into.
And I want to go back. You said there's only one high school in the constituency.
One high school in the constituency, that we should make that the pride and joy of the kids of Portland West. Every child should want to go to Buff Bay High School as their first choice.
Hold on. Because I don't want any of my listeners misunderstand what is happening here. You have one high school in West Portland.
Yes.
And the high school you are saying is in disarray.
Yes. And I commend the teachers. Of Buff Bay High School, because when I went there, they were busy with their hands, cleaning, sweeping, and trying their best to prepare the school for Monday morning.
And listeners and viewers, who I go vex because me never hide it from nobody. Me tell everybody, me a politician. I am a member of the People's National Party, a paid up member. So is Comrade Doreen Campbell. And we have to politicize the thing, because that's where it is. When I become the member of parliament for East Portland, and that's what I'm showing you guys, that we are interested in your children education. And there is a trend, vex if you want to vex, these people are not interested in educating our children.
I tell you something.
We lost Doreen. I don't know, but we lost the video. I don't know if it's Lord. All right, try and get back to us, Comrade Doreen. What we are simply saying, Jamaica, that education is not a priority. We at the People's National Party, education is at the forefront. Doreen is back. Welcome back, Doreen. I don't know what happened. We are saying to the people that, okay, education is at the forefront of what we do, and we have a track record as a party of prioritizing education, and we are showing you on the ground. I mean, Doreen, you won high school. Tell us, what would you do if you are the MP and you have one high school? What would that school look like?
Yes, absolutely. From you coming up to heading to Buff Bay High School, you should know you're going to a school, a first choice school. When you enter the compound, you must feel like, yes, this is, I'm a product of Clarendon College, way over there in Chapperton, in the hills of Chapperton. And I'm still a proud person to identify as someone who went to Clarendon College. When you get to the gate, you feel like you're going into a college. Not just Clarendon College, but you feel like you're going to a college, right? But I tell you something, Sir Bell. I am the mother of 3 athletes, kids who went to college 100% free, no school fee paid by me, because they ran track. So one of the first things I did when I went to the school is to visit the play field for Buff Bay High School. Everybody know Buff Bay High does very well in Eastern Champs. As a matter of fact, we have an Olympian now that attended Buff Bay High School, Romaine. But when you go to the back of the school and look at the play field and school opening Monday morning, you realize nobody is paying attention. The authorities are not prioritizing extracurricular activity as a form of development for our children. So as the next member of parliament, because I'm telling you, it's going to happen. As the next member of parliament for Western Portland, Buff Bay High School will definitely be a priority of mine. We have to ensure that if you look at the perimeter walls, you know, when you send your kids to school, you send your kids to school, Colin, so that, and you know, they're safe. Once they're in the compound, they're safe, right? And
You
they
send them off to the
come out.
government. You're not supposed to worry about them for your thing.
Exactly. But if you go to Buff Bay High School, you don't need to walk through the gate if you're ready for leave. And you don't need to step too high. As a woman, I could have just walked over the wall. That's how low the wall is to exit the school.
Conrad O'Brien is asking that can be the constituency of the Minister of Energy, Science and Technology and Transportation. Darrell Vaz. Is that his constituency?
That is the constituency of the super minister.
One high school.
One high school.
And you see, I can say I know what you're talking about, you know. I know what you're talking about. I see Dr. Ryan Simpson also in the waiting room.
Yes,
Dr. Ryan Simpson.
Good to be here.
Morning.
Thank you, my brother. Morning.
It's a blessing to have you on this morning, Ryan. We have Comrade Doreen Campbell on the.
Yes, man. I've been listening to her passionate.
How can you, Ryan, have one high school in your constituency? And I will go ask you about your constituency, how many high schools you have and all of that. How many you have, by the way?
We have 3 public high schools.
You have 3, well, like me, I have 3 public, I have a private.
A couple of privates.
But how can you have one and it is in shambles?
Yeah. And you're a minister and would have been there for quite a long time, because he's
17 and counting, my brother.
Listen,
17 years and counting.
Jamaicans need to wise up. These people have disqualified themselves from presidential politics for a long time. They're redundant. They're in there for the power. They're in there for themselves. You understand? They're not there for the people.
Let me bring back Comrade Campbell.
Yes, Comrade Campbell.
Doreen, we have Comrade Ryan Simpson on the broadcast.
Next member of Parliament for Western Portland. Good morning.
Hi,
I'm excited to see that Portland is moving in the right direction, because you know Portland is my birth parish. Western Portland is that's my constituency in which I was born and raised. Eastern Portland is where I went to school, high school. So I'm excited to see that come the next general election, my parish will be in great hands, in 2 very powerful hands. People who are from the constituency, people who know the people of the constituency, and they wanted to parachuted into Portland. You both are Portlanders, who come from among the people. So I'm very excited. It's time for us to, get people who are like us to represent us. People are from the people, of the people, for the people.
All right, let's go back to Doreen. You were talking about Buff Bay High School and its readiness for Monday morning.
Yes. Buff Bay High School. Up until when I visited, the book rentals, the rentals that the kids are supposed to come in. And when you come to high school, you're excited.
Yes.
Come with your bag and you're ready for them books. Up to Thursday, Friday when I visited Buff Bay High School. the rentals from the ministry has not yet arrived. So when the kids come in and expect those rentals to go home with, I don't know when they're going to get them. You know,
Sad.
it is a sad state. It is a sad state. And I think for me, we have a member of parliament that promised. He went to the graduation. He visited the school actually, and he made a promise of a smart board over a year ago. The schools still have not received that smart board from the member of parliament. The one high school in Western Portland.
And people vex when I said they don't care about us. People upset. You have some people who are upset. Portlanders. Happy Grove High School cannot open Monday morning, because it is a construction site to be. The work don't even start. They have stripped the auditorium. I will put the pictures out. The work not start yet. Titchfield High School have 7 of the buildings affected, leaking like a sieve. They start the work, not complete. So these 2 schools, and why? These schools, they were back on the grid within 2 weeks after Hurricane Beryl. So you can't tell me you never have no current. And yet, in my constituency, I see people dancing every time a little piece of asphalt put on them depanita dance. They took 2 weeks. You remember that groundbreaking that we went to Doreen?
Yes.
They took 2 weeks to demolish all the buildings that were there, clean it up, prepare the place for the groundbreaking, major parking lot, side for 10, ready in 2 weeks. And the schools are not ready to educate our children, where we are having a dilemma in the falling of our passes in CXC. Doreen, speak to us about the primary schools in your constituency. What is happening for them?
You know, you touch on something that is it concerns me a lot, because I don't know how many people know that quite a number of the primary schools in Western Portland, they actually have less than 30 children in them, you know. Serious problem with the primary schools. Less than 30 children. Ryan, believe it or not.
Yeah.
While you have a Buff Bay Primary School that will have over 500 kids.
Mm.
But then when you look at the schools in the various communities, you would think it's because of migration. And it would be good if the reason is solely because of migration. But if you look on the persons who make up the schools that have the larger numbers, they're
coming from those communities.
Same communities. So there's no investment. There's no vision. Give us vision, lest we perish.
Yes.
Because you don't see the need. Do you know that even the Charlestown Primary School, they wanted to close it? It's a community that rallied to keep it open enough.
But why the community people not sending their children to the school in their community? And they don't want to
why send your kids to the school in the community if you don't, if they can't even go on the playground and play? Because the playground is rocky.
So why they're not demanding more than you don't want the school closed? Because you see, our citizens need to start playing their part, you know.
Yeah.
Our citizens need to get up. The silent majority need to get up and start talking, because you know they don't want the school closed, you know. But those same people, how many of them are send them kids above their school?
But you know, it's easy for us where we are to say they need to speak up. They need to stand up. But these people need us for their voices. These people need change. These people need people who actually care.
And if they don't want to talk, then when the election is called, Doreen, they need to go to the poll and vote for us.
Yeah, but these are the same people who live in fear. They live in fear. They live in fear of their leaders. It's not because they don't want to speak up, but they have successfully kept the people so poor. So poor.
And that's why the lack of interest in education. That takes us to the lack of interest in education. So they keep you, because if you have education, you're not going to poor enough. If you have education, there's a 9.5 chance out of 10 you're not going to be poor. But if you don't have no education, there's a 0.5% chance. There's a 9.5% chance of you being poor. So they keep education lacking. I'm going to come back to you, Doreen. Ryan, morning. Welcome.
Morning.
Dr. Ryan Simpson, the PNP candidate for Northeast Centre. And the man who, I hear that the lady not stepping down, Ryan.
Well, that is what I'm hearing, my friend. I'm hearing that there's trouble in the camp, major
Yes.
trouble in the camp.
Hence the man want to bring down him vote.
Yeah, yes, sir.
But I don't want to go to the vote yet. Tell me about your back to school in your constituency, or your schools are getting ready for Monday morning.
Well, Colin, the truth is that the North Coast was never hit very badly by Beryl, so none of our schools suffered any I wouldn't even say major. We didn't have any
damage.
We didn't get damages at all to the schools. So in terms of infrastructure, all the schools were safe. We have one or two basic schools, like up in Pimento Walk Basic School got a little damage to the roof. But in terms of the high schools and primary schools, we had nothing, no damages at all. So infrastructurally, the schools are ready. I have a fairly good relationship with the principals in the high schools and some of the primary schools there. Aside from the fact that the brain drain, the teachers drain, that's the biggest thing that's plaguing our schools going back, and I think that's a national thing. We have lost quite a bit of our teachers from all three of our major high schools, who have left the country and gone to look for greener pastures.
If the finance minister can run, why the teachers them?
Exactly. Why should our teachers stay after him, give himself over 300% raise and still run for greener pastures? Why should our teachers stay for a measly 20% over a certain period of time?
Ryan.
Which amounted to nothing.
Ryan, our teachers are earning under $3 million a year. Over 2 million. Well, maybe under two, some teachers are earning under $2 million. This man is earning over 20 million.
Okay, no. So no. I want you to put it in perspective, Colin. Put it in perspective. Yes. If our teachers are earning little under 3 million a year, how much is this man earning a month? So basically, you're saying the teachers are what this man get monthly is what a teacher is getting annually
for the year.
Yes,
there you go.
That's the perspective we want Jamaicans to understand how wicked this government is. More labor rights, understand how wicked this government is now.
And he's running.
One of the people in Darrell Vast constituency to understand how evil their member of parliament is now. Because he might get at least he might get over $2 million a month, as a minister in Eastern Portland.
Yeah.
You understand? Mm-hmm. While the teachers them might get less than that annually.
A year.
And I don't think Jamaicans understand that. When them defend this government and say, oh, well, this government is doing, them not get how self-serving and just wicked these people are.
And even what they're doing to the future.
Exactly.
What they're
demolishing Jamaica. Listen, I believe there's an agenda to dumb down the Jamaican people to a point where we become a nation of illiterates, I think Andrew Onless is championing that cause for somebody who will pull him string somewhere. Because me not see how under God's heaven we would permit teachers to be leaving the island in droves and going to tell me, say, I'm going to bring a handful of teachers from Zimbabwe, when I understand our culture, don't understand our culture, barely speak the English language, don't understand nothing about how Jamaican function, you're going to replace them with a handful of teachers from Zimbabwe. So if we try to attract teachers from other places in the world, and these teachers don't come to Jamaica because them try other places and not get nothing, So so we're the last option, and then let's got Jamaican dollar no money.
No, not at all.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And the best solution is to bring in teacher. Comrade Damon Crawford, our next Minister of Education, has some excellent ideas that
All
would
these people
keep
don't want to
our
listen to
teachers.
nobody.
Yeah. So that's the biggest thing in our constituency. We have Otres Primary School, which has over 1,000 students.
Yeah, it's on
Okay.
shift.
It's a shift system.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have two shift system in East Portland too.
Yeah, and the teacher issue is the same. The teacher shortage is going to plague or them come back to school. You understand? Otres High School, major high school as well. We are having some serious shortage of teachers. I mean, I was talking to the principal. He's getting application from people overseas. He's actually doing interview on Zoom, for people, interviewing people who want to come back. So
Campbell, you want to come in on that?
that is the issue. That's a big thing right now.
Teacher shortage, or you stay in your constituency?
I'm not having, based on what I'm told this week, I'm not having major shortages. We do have a few slots that needs to be filled, but it's not a major problem. The problem, though, is that I'm being told that when there is a vacancy, the vacancy is not filled from Western Portland for the school in Western Portland. It's being filled by, say, the east of Portland or the southeast side of St. Mary.
Oh.
So we have some serious challenges in Western Portland. Serious challenges. Comrade Bell, if you keep the people poor, they can't send them picnic go to school,
Yeah.
When I was growing up, I never even knew I was poor because I was sure I was going to come home and get some food to eat. And we played the same games and everything, just like everybody else, and the gig and the hopscotch. But nowadays, kids can know they're poor. Because if they don't have the cell phone and the TikTok and Instagram, them know so them poor. If them can't wear the John Sport bag, but them have to carry the drawstring bag, them know them poor. A lot of things have changed. So if we provide access to the farmlands so the farmers can bring out them produce, if we fight for the rise in coffee prices, so farmers can earn more, if we provide opportunities for the youth to be able to earn an income, then they will be able to properly educate their children. And education is one of the greatest way out of poverty. And that is why, instead of our children in West Portland leaving primary school, heading into high school, then to teachers college, it doesn't matter if they go to Pasley, it doesn't matter where they go, so they can come back and be that pride and joy in their community. As teacher, that is not happening anymore. So we end up with problems with housing because the person who comes from Port Antonio to teach at Buff Bay have a problem with transportation. And don't start me, because if you start me, then I'm going to go on to the fact that we don't have a school bus system come on the morning.
Before you go there, I just want to talk about the teacher shortage in East Portland, because it is at a level now where the primary schools have been given the permission to employ sixth form students.
Whoa.
Students who are leaving sixth form, who have done lower six and upper six. The primary schools have been given the permission to employ those children, to employ people who have left college and not working, who want to teach. Not that they have anything in teaching. So it is bad, and it gets to this stage because for over 6 years, the government has not been paying attention to teacher retention. Nothing to say, not even to even say to our teachers in the public, nobody go man, so nobody go man, stay. Not even to say stay. Basically, what the government has done is said, do what you want to do. It is what it is.
And it got worse now, because with with the Minister of Finance opting
Mm-hmm.
to abandon his constituency and the people of Jamaica and go off to a more lucrative. I mean, when I hear the millions he's going to be earning, I am happy for him that he's earning those millions. But
The question I would want to ask.
Commitment to country. Where is the commitment to country?
The question I want to ask. If he was the prime minister and get this offer and I resign and go?
But bigger than that, Colin.
I don't know why you're dropping out, Brian.
Getting a call.
Oh.
It does that to me too.
Oh. No. If he was the prime minister, it sounds to me like him that just take the work same way.
Yes. That to me is a disappointment, because if you're going to take that job, what do you say to our teachers and nurses?
You can't say nothing.
Doctors. You can tell them to stay and be patriotic.
804-7072, yeah. Yeah, so that's accessible. Yeah, man, if you want to call, you can call upon that. 804-7072. Yeah, Doreen, continue.
Yes, I'm just saying, it's just unfortunate we can no longer stand up and say to our people, fight the battle, stay on the ground, help us.
We are here with you.
We are here with you. And we
no. And some people are applauding. Some people are applauding the move that Dr. Clark make. No, for Dr. Clark as a person, great achievement. But for me, it shows a lack of commitment to country. I just believe, and this is my belief, Ryan, that when you reach certain place in your country, you reach MP, Minister of Government, Finance Minister, Prime Minister, Governor General. You can't be looking no job nowhere.
No one else. I agree.
You can't be looking no job. For me, that can't in your.
Can I go beyond that, Colin? I mean, for me, what is so significant about this move for the Minister of Finance is the institution to which he's being called, the IMF. Yes, I'm saying. I mean, that for me is the straw that breaks the camel back, because the IMF and what the IMF represents in terms of implications for third world countries and developing countries. To this date, I don't see how IMF's policies are conducive to facilitating development for countries like my own. In fact, to the contrary, I believe the IMF's draconian and restrictive and arbitrary conditions are what account for the most part for Jamaica being where it is in a serious, economic dependency, if you want to call it.
I'll tell you something about the Constitution. The Constitution says the finance minister must be a member of parliament, because no taxation without election.
Right.
Because the Constitution believes that somebody who holds that position is going to be committed to the country.
Yeah.
And like the GLP were saying, and the Prime Minister said, only one country you cannot think about. So when you get to finance minister, you can't be looking at jobs somewhere.
Right.
But a question though. For you to have gotten that position, you would have applied for that position over a year ago.
Absolutely.
Because the kind of screening that they would have had to do and background check, or you can sit in that position, tells me he would have applied for this position over a year ago.
Yeah.
And would he, as Minister of Finance, have been doing the job with that in mind, and therefore whatever measures he would need to take to assist Jamaica, he probably would not have taken it, because he would be more concerned of the impact it would have on
his ability to get that
job.
Campbell. Yes.
Doreen Campbell is a serious piece
of
analytical piece that you just put on,
Yes, man. Definitely.
Because
Jamaicans, to think about that, pause and think about that for a little.
That you have to think about. Yeah?
Yeah.
And this now, you mentioned background check. And I want to make a statement here. You know that background check carry me to? And I want to say it afraid. Dr. Clark now cannot be one of the 8. What the hell if him a one of the 8? Are you with me?
You're saying he cannot be one of the 8?
He cannot be one of the illicit 8 because the IMF must do that, as Comrade Campbell mentioned, background check. So the IMF would have look ugly if them do this. If this man are one of the 8, you know. I am betting that he's not, because I believe that the IMF would have done that kind of background check.
But it also could be that Dr. Clark realized he should be sinking and so him a jump. You understand? When the 8 is revealed, he realized his partner has a chance.
Because he would have known the 8 too, you know.
Absolutely. He's supposed to know the 8, what is 8 people. But you know, for me just believe now so that man. Listen, I've always been saying this for a long time, that Andrew Holness and the team of leaders are not patriots of Jamaica. I believe they're traitors.
I share that view.
I've always been saying that, and I mean it with all my heart. I believe they've always been working not in the best interest of this country, but somebody else's best interest. Now we see where Nigel Clark's loyalty
I don't know how long this program is, Comrade Bell, because if you're going to touch on the illicit 8, you remember, I'm in a constituency, where I have a super minister,
Yeah.
And the member of parliament for my constituency can just click him finger like that and make things. And
that's true.
Western Portland has gone backward of its development progress. The people have gone backward in every respect. There's no economics. There's no way for people to earn $1. Everybody now doing round robin, bingo. Everybody just doing things. Everybody.
Hold on, Comrade Campbell. Doing bingo and them something. There's a part of the creative industry that we are going like.
No,
but I tell you something. I'm going to tell you something.
I'm just kidding. Hold on. You can call back. Yeah, man. We'll take a 1 and 2 call. Anybody want to call?
What Doreen say, it's very significant now. When bingo and round robin becomes the major source of what's going on with me internet. But you know, from in my constituency is round robin. When them, goodness, give me a second. Let me see if we can switch over.
Yeah, all right, do that and come back.
Stay tuned.
All right, go ahead, Comrade Campbell.
Yes. So when you have a constituency that is represented by the treasurer of the Jamaica Labour Party, by the most powerful member of parliament, as a matter of fact, I think he's more powerful than the Prime Minister. But yet still he has not used that power, Comrade Bell, to enhance and to enrich the lives of the people who put him there. So that's why I ask you how much time you have for this program, because when you start touching on these things, you get me kind of wanting to talk.
And we want you to talk, because one of the things that we want to say to the people going into this general election, you can't vote for people you don't hear nothing from them. They're not offering you any idea. They're not telling you what are their plans. And therefore, they want you to just come in and vote for them. We have a call. Morning, caller. Drop off. I don't know why the call dropping off. Yeah, Doreen. So we have to insist that we hear from our people who want to be representatives. You come and talk to us. That we know what it is that we are going to hold you to when you become member of parliament. What are some of the things, Doreen, that you are planning on doing for Western Portland? You said they have been going back. How you're planning to bring it forward?
I'll just share a few, because some people are baby fathers of ideas. So I'll just share a few, because one of the things I come to recognize, as soon as you start sharing what you think of doing, those who have the power begin the process of implementing. So our people, when you talk to most of the youth and youth on the corner, Comrade Bell, the first thing them ask you for is a farm work card. That's the first thing they ask for. They ask for a farm work card. And most people don't realize that when they go to the farms in Canada or in America, they have to do some real hard, backbreaking work. They have to live into some conditions that is rather unsanitary. You will
Continue, Doreen.
talk about, as a member of parliament, we use the resources that we have to create a commercial driving school where we teach our young men and women to drive heavy duty equipment, excavators, backhoes,
Brilliant.
trucks. I'm talking about trucks that they learn to put on chain and the tire. They learn so that when they're certified, Caterpillar certified, they don't know how to fix. They don't just learn how to drive it. They also learn if it breaks down, how to fix it. That way, once certified, and if they want to go overseas, they can go to Canada. Them and their families can leave the shores of Jamaica and they can go to Canada as certified drivers of these heavy duty equipment. I know I saw here people say they need to bring workers from overseas. Simply because they don't have the people here on the ground who is properly trained. I've spoken to contractors, road contractors, and they can't find people to drive the lowboy that carries equipment through the countryside. People don't see something as simple as this that is in short supply in Jamaica. We have lands in Western Portland. As a matter of fact, I spoke this idea to a businessman in Buff Bay. And he said to me, Miss Campbell, if you can implement this, I will donate the land so that people can be certified.
I listening here, Doreen. I listening here, man.
Yes. You drive up and down and you hear the yang bike them around the place. The yang bike them, they make so much noise. And a lot of times they're making a noise because the guys are trying to show you that they're very skilled. So we need a biker's paradise. We need a biker's paradise club in Western Portland. I'm going to tell you something, Comrade Bell. I know you're in the East, I know you're in the East.
And we have a whole heap of riders from up here. One of Jamaica's top riders was from Port Antonio. We still have, Ratty kind of, I don't think Ratty ride as much as he used to, but we had some top riders who made it on a national scale out of East Portland, So we know what you're talking about.
Absolutely. So forgive me for when I say, because I know my member of parliament, same is Mr. Portland. I want the people of Western Portland know that even though I love the parish of Portland, my focus and sole focus is the western side of Portland. Because it is my intention, Comrade Bell, that when people say they're going to Portland, I don't want to hear people say they're going to the western side of Portland. So it is my responsibility to create a form of entertainment, create an entertainment industry in the western side of Portland. So people are comfortable now stopping in the west. So everybody not going to Comrade Bell in the east. We have water. We have so much rivers in Western Portland that never stop flowing, but we don't have a water park. So we can create a theme park on the western side of Portland. Comrade Bell, when fruits come in, them fall to the ground. And then before you know it, we're hungry again. Because we don't have a cold storage set up. We need a cold storage that will ensure that we have food and fruits all year round. Comrade Bell, what we have in the West is land.
Michael Manley say more put
Farmers are
idle lands into idle hands.
We move idle lands and put it into idle hands. Comrade Bell, in the West, coffee, farming is the mainstay of the West. Why we don't have as a member of parliament, why the member of parliament don't ensure owned and operated by the constituency is a tractor, a front-end loader, a truck,
water truck.
so that
Have a
every
water truck.
farm road can remain open and accessible so that farmers can get to their ground and take their produce up. With some simple things the people asking for, you know.
Yes, yes.
I did a back to school. I tell you, don't start me, you know, because I did a back to school. Not a back to school. I did a health fair a week ago. The head fair was checking for cervical warts. It was checking for prostate cancer. It was doing tests that when I do house-to-house visit, Comrade Bell, I recognize quickly that our health care is in trouble. Our people is in trouble. People don't go to the doctor because they can't afford the doctor.
All right, so we have
overrun on the hospital.
Hold on, Ryan, just turn that camera one more time. Turn the camera one more time, Comrade Simpson. We say Comrade Simpson back, but the camera needs to rotate. Continue, Comrade Doreen.
Yes. We need to focus on primary care. We need to focus on preventative care. What we're having in the healthcare industry is that when you finally realize you're sick, you run go a doctor. There is no plan that is there in place.
No regular checkup to detect if anything is going wrong.
That prevention is a focus. Yeah. It must be a focus, because if it's not a focus, you have an overrun on the hospital. Mm-hmm. Stop people from going to the emergency room. You need, as a government, to put systems in place to stop the people from going into the emergency room.
Yeah.
But my heart is heavy because Western Portland wasn't like how it is now. Under Errol Ennis, those days, Western Portland was a model constituency.
I know.
Can you imagine?
I know it.
Can you imagine in modern days people still go a river go catch water? But we have a member of parliament that is associated with high-rise buildings in Kingston. High-rise construction. Take elevator, go up. Take elevator, come down. So how the water reach from the 13th floor?
They make a way.
You make a way.
They make a way.
But the people in Westport and live right beside the river.
And can't get no water.
Them pipe. In modern days, it's 2024, you know.
But obviously, a lot of people are still comfortable with that, because when an election is called, you see them out there fully green, fully run up and down back of them and do the work for them and spend the money for them. And
I don't agree. I don't agree with that, because guess what it is? I put it another way. Education. Our people have not been educated to recognize they are not doing anything special for you. Let me give you an example to show you That's how powerful education is. Recently, an article came out in the Gleaner.
Yes.
Recently, an article came out in the Gleaner featuring Darrell Vaz giving a back to school recognition and allocating resources, 15,000 per person, 100,000 when you go to college, 200. But the people don't recognize that he comes across as gracious and kind. And it's because Mr. Vaz looking out for them. But what people don't know is that every member of parliament was allocated $3 million, Comrade Ryan, from the Ministry of Education, and up to $5 million from their senior.
So if we don't talk these things, all the people ain't going to know them. I think the people are
If
going to know
we
just
don't say to the people that the $8 million
And for them money, they must come out of their pocket.
is not coming from his personal pocket.
And Doreen, this must be emphasized. This must be really emphasized in Doreen, because when you go there and do it in Doreen, and when you do it, Colin, and when I do it, people need to understand that come from our pocket.
yeah,
Yes, and
two different money. One is your
they
money,
must understand that.
and one
Yes.
is our money. The three of us money. The one that Mr. Vaz and Miss Vaz and the lady down at Northeast Center and spend. That is our money.
It's not to them.
The
Our money.
taxpayers' money.
Taxpayer money.
But when we spend, I
Yes.
really few money out of
Out
pocket
of our
to
pocket.
work and get our brethren give we and say assist with your campaign. We get nothing from government.
So the question: who is more gracious? Who is more benevolent? Is the question. Because
But it's a Bible man. The Bible tell you about the man who have a whole heap and give, and the man who give your time last. Other part of the Bible they go.
That's correct. The one who give out time last give more, way more than the one who give, because he might give nothing. He really not give out their pocket. When he start burning down his pocket, then you can say he's a gracious person. When they burn in pocket, you understand what I'm saying?
But remember,
and those are things that the people need to know.
Yes. And remember, keep the people poor is one of the oldest political tricks in the book. Because if you keep them poor, they must come to you to beg bread.
Make them depend on you.
When you give them the bread,
the power of laws tell you about that, Ryan.
Yeah, man. 40 laws of power. Keep the people dependent on you. And you see how that plays. You see how that plays out in the educational saga that's going on right now. How do you keep the people poor? Keep them uneducated.
Exactly.
Keep them uninformed.
Right. So
yes,
once them done, so you can't do anything with them.
Yeah, man. Degrade the education. Yes, son. In fact, you notice that the education system is completely devoid now, or divorced from national what do you call it? Anything to do with national education. So our people don't even know our history. Yes, and our civics, our national pride. Our education system does not include, educating our people on what it means to be a Jamaican, our achievements, our accomplishments, who we are as a people. Yes, and you keep our people at a point where they don't know themselves, they don't know their past.
Yeah.
Then what you got is a bunch of dummies, a bunch of slaves, and we can do anything and everything with them.
When a man can tell me that the government shelving of the new road from Harborview to Port Antonio, that never necessary. You see how easy people are brainwashed. You will get a brand new road that will open up a lot of virgin land where you can't access right now. Take you from Harborview to Port Antonio in an hour. So if you're leaving the Norman Manley International Airport to come to Port Antonio, 50 minutes, 55 minutes, you're in Port Antonio, you're at Dragon Bay in 45 minutes. That open up the east, and you're saying to me because your party say it don't make economical sense. You agree? That's the result of keeping people dunce.
Who is taking praise for these roads? You don't see who taking praise for the road network around the island.
Yeah.
Weren't you
challenged?
Weren't you and I at a meeting in Port Antonio the other day and sit down and listen to the member of parliament for West Portland.
And the prime minister, and never just him, the two of them are talk about the road. And when the prime minister talk about the road around a east, and see me, I look straight through him say, him knows says people are cringe when him talk the truth. What is the truth? The contract for the road was signed in 2015 with China Harbour by Portia Simpson Miller.
Wow.
And they come in 2016 and slow down the implementation, change the whole scope of the work, change the plan, and insist to China Harbour that they must split up the contract to give some local contractors. And that became a major mess up the whole project. So
Well,
I don't know.
Thing, you know, you asked me about my vision. And I tell you, I am a mother of 3 girls. I love sports and love sports bad, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And sports is what they use to make themselves into who they are today.
Mm-hmm.
And when I look on the eastern side of Portland, of the island, sorry, where's the sports focus for our youth to develop and to be better? There's no focus. You realize there's not a public swimming pool. There's not a public swimming pool in the entire Eastern Bloc.
You know, that's serious, you know. That's serious for a country we gain so much from sports. But Doreen, I want to go to Ryan as it relates to his plans for his constituency and what are the things that he's planning to do as the next member of parliament.
Well, Colin, Northeast St. Anne, as you know, which carries one of the major tourist towns, tourist centers in Jamaica, Ocherias, and now we have Draxall being developed. Northeast St. Anne, I would say, represent one of the wealthiest constituencies in Jamaica. A lot of money flows through Northeast St. Anne. This year actually, the minister gave his report at the sectoral debate, the Minister of Tourism. He would have announced to Jamaica that we would have brought in about $4.4 billion in revenue through tourism in Jamaica. And I'm sure Northeast St. Anne would account for a substantial portion of that. There's a lot of money in Northeast St. Anne. The problem is that the money, like other places in Jamaica, is not impacting the constituency. It doesn't trickle down. You understand? My vision for Northeast St. Anne comes a lot. Well, there's a lot of things that has to be addressed. Chief among them is the protection of Jamaican jobs for Jamaican and Jamaican businesses. So what we have is we see a lot of imported business, foreign investors businesses, and I'm for foreign investment, but I don't believe that foreign investment should flourish at the expense of local business, you know. And what we see, we for example, when we drop an all-inclusive hotels, which is now the biggest thing in Jamaica, is the proliferation of all-inclusive hotels, and we have a lot of them in Northeast St. We need to ensure that these all-inclusive hotels are not killing out the local business, and that's really what's going on right now. A lot of our small business and local business suffer whenever an all-inclusive hotels drop there, and we have to do something about that. We have to find a way to protect Jamaican businesses. We have to protect Jamaican jobs.
Yes.
One of my biggest passion right now, one of the things that really disturbs me is how many expatriates come to Jamaica and gobble up the big jobs in the hotels, in the tourism sector. Yeah. So we got Bartlett will boast that we're creating thousands of jobs for Jamaica. What he's not telling you though is what level of jobs are these. It's basically, so when you create 20,000 jobs, and 2,000 of those jobs are the top level job, and none of that goes to Jamaicans. Yeah. So you got your executive chefs and your pastry chef and your sous chef and your general managers and your major supervisors can't even speak Jamaican language.
They always come from abroad.
They come from abroad.
I just want to bring my listeners and my viewers up to date though, that we have on the platform right now, Comrade Doreen Campbell. She's the MP candidate for West Portland, and she's the deputy shadow minister on tourism.
Yes.
And we have Comrade Ryan Simpson, who is the MP candidate for Northeast Centre, and he's the deputy shadow minister on information.
Yes.
So
Comrade Doreen, my our next state minister in tourism, this is something that I would like you to partner with me on and bring representation to in Parliament. For one, we got to find a way. Other countries are doing it. Bermuda, for example. Bermuda ensures that their locals get first priority to all jobs, all jobs in that Bermuda produces. So that means that if there is a job opening for general manager for a hotel, or executive chef for a hotel, or pastry chef, or you name it, the top level position, that job has to be advertised in the newspaper in Bermuda for a certain period of time. And it has to be advertised on what they call the Bermuda Job Board, as a government-run board, so that qualified Bermudans can apply for it. And if they apply for it and are qualified for it, they get first pick. And if the entity chooses an expatriate over the Bermudian, they have to justify why they would have done so. And if the minister doesn't see the justification, that person is not going to get the job. Bermuda has to get a job first. Jamaica needs to prioritize Jamaicans. We're having brain drain because I went to, last year, my family and I took a cruise to Alaska, one of the biggest cruises, Royal Caribbean. And the executive chef on Royal Caribbean was a Jamaican. They produce over 25,000 meals a day. And it was a Jamaican. Yet you go into, how much of our hotels in Jamaica have a Jamaican as executive chef? That same man come to Jamaica and tell him saying he can't get a job. You know what I'm saying? So other places are celebrating Jamaicans for who we are and our potential and on what we bring to the table, except our own country.
And our talent.
Our people are only qualified to be served. I mean, we have a whole heap of tourist workers in the tourism industry in the Northeast Centre, but 99% of them are servers and waiters and housekeepers and security guards. Those are what they and our contract workers, lifeguards and all them from there. And a contract workers, them 11 months. They get a contract for 11 months and they have to quit after 11 months and hope so they call them back.
Let me hear Comrade Campbell. Go ahead, Doreen.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting that you brought that topic up, because tourism being my responsibility, shadow responsibility, it concerns me that our youth and our workers who are trained, who go to school, they go to Hart, and they go to Hart and they get a housekeeping certificate, bartending certificate. They all they're done, and then they send an application and they send to me that are trying to get a job, but the jobs are in Montego Bay, the jobs are in Ocho Rios. The amount that they're paying for the job, I can't take the job because I can't pay anything. And then I hear the minister talk about building 3,000 houses, and they have done 100 so far. So I don't know 3,000. And if it's houses, what is it? Boarding houses? What kind of housing are we talking about? But most importantly, when you have the vacancy in your side, Dr. Ryan,
right?
Persons from Portland. I don't want persons from Portland applying for those jobs. I want those persons from Portland staying in the hotels in Portland.
In Portland.
The hotel sector or the tourism sector in Portland.
That's right.
Unfortunately, they can't work in the tourism sector in Portland.
There's no tourism sector in Portland.
Because there's no tourism sector in a
which is a disgrace, because I remember Colin, again, Doreen, me and you and Colin would have known when tourism was at its heyday in Portland. When people used to, when Bonneview Hotel and all them hotel there are fire. And when you come in a Portland town, there are white people you sit on the street. Yes, and remember when cruise ship used to come in at the harbor of Portland? What the hell is going on with Portland? Portland is one of the most beautiful places in Jamaica.
But
what under God's
important to know.
Let me tell you something. I've been telling people long time that Portland needs people with the energy and the vision to push this parish forward.
Yes.
Portland, East Portland, we have what it takes to double Jamaica's tourism income. And we have been pushed aside because some people, especially down here in the East, they see it as their getaway, their hideaway. So they come on a weekend and them chill out. Them don't want to only people at East Portland. When I talk about developing the East Harbour, that we can accept any one of the mega liners that carry tourists around the world, people are saying that they don't want that to happen. And you can see the fight for it not to happen because these same people that we have here for 17 plus 5, 22 years in Portland, they are not interested in growing the tourism industry in this side of the island. They want it for their little getaway and it's not going to work. We have Navy Island
Comrade Bell, is there any other plan that is afoot? Because I remember in 2007 when Darrell Vaz was campaigning, he campaigned on the fact that we bring employment through the tourism sector, right?
Let me tell you something.
Employment through the tourism sector. Well, I'm gonna make this point 1 second. Because there's a hotel that you have down there that has been closed since then. And he campaigned on the fact that it's going to be reopened and it's going to provide X amount of jobs to the people. And people said, yeah.
Who owned the hotel there?
Yeah.
Who owned the hotel?
But the same person who owned the hotel, generations later, they're also owning other lands down there.
Right.
And those properties are also not open to the public. Those properties are also not providing them. I have one question I want to ask. What is the reason why these properties are being bought? Not developed. It's not being developed. Therefore, causing other properties around to be run down. Is there a concerted effort to reduce the property values in Eastern Portland? What is the plan? Something is afoot. Why no serious budgetary allocation is placed on promoting the parish of Portland, one of the most beautiful parish. Something is afoot, because it cannot be that as minister you get up every day and speak about tourism arrival and how much more tourists has arrived, but yet still Portland continues to lag behind. Something is afoot. And we need.
Well, I tell you about the lands that they are buying up, because they know that when Colin Bell becomes the member of parliament, East Portland is going to move like you have never seen it. Because the potential will not going to allow people to stifle East Portland. There's a saying that says, while the grass are grow, the horse are starved. And I see they coming up and they broke ground for what they call the urban center. And I'm saying to the people of East Portland, all well and good about an urban center, but that's not our need. The urban center is a want. The need is the East Harbour development or the World Reggae Park on Navy Island, because the East Harbour development or the World Reggae Park will bring new jobs. Any one of those development going to bring easily 2,000 jobs to Port Antonio. The urban center will not bring any new job to speak about. What the urban center is going to do is to transfer jobs from downtown to uptown. The jobs that are going to be there, they are already here, operating. So you're giving them a better space and a one-stop shop. All well and good. Is that a need? Because when you have the one-stop shop and people don't have no money to spend, how that will benefit anybody? You want to grow the economy, and what will grow the economy is the development of the East Harbour, where the mega liners can come, a cruise ship come in. And I said to people, if Port Antonio start getting back one cruise ship per week with upwards of 3,000 guests, then the economy of Port Antonio and Portland will start growing, because that, Doreen, will also employ people from West Portland in the tourism industry. So the growth of Port Antonio will move the entire parish. And I'm saying to my people that these present people who are there have no interest in doing that for you. They are scraping for themselves, and even them I wait upon Colin Bell and Doreen Campbell to come move Portland forward?
I have a quick question to ask you. Is there any nepotism taking place on that Bonebrook?
What you mean? It's pure nepotism run things in
Is
East
who-
Portland. And I said to the labor rights of East Portland, what happened to Uno? Uno don't have no ability. It's just like what Dr. Simpson talked about a while ago with expatriate coming in to scrape up all the big jobs. It is that there is a man who have come into East Portland, and my information is that he's related to the member of parliament, and he heads all the big jobs. Any job where have money, him edit. And the labor rights them sit down and me I said to themselves, so wait, somebody come join the line in front of us again? Well, I'm saying to the comrades in East Portland, we now put nobody in front of us in the line. We are the front of the line and we are going to move Portland forward.
No, but Comrade Bell, the problem with us as Jamaicans, we talk a lot, but we don't do, we don't act. If you suspect there is nepotism, why don't we ensure that we put a stop to that nepotism?
Well, we need to.
We have to put a stop to it. It can't be that a contract of that size goes into hands of someone who is related to someone.
Exactly.
And if the contract is not in that person's name, it is in somebody's name.
Yeah, man, we need to find out these things.
Every day that you go.
Who is the liaison officer? Who is the liaison officer?
Every day you go on that contract is a particular person running the place. So if the contract is not in his name, then whoever name it is, that information should be investigated by the Contracts Commission of Jamaica. And he must be paying all in taxes, and he must be the one signing all those checks and paying the people.
Talk to me.
Yes, he must be the one directing, employing, paying the bills, because if he's not, then clearly he's not paying taxes. In other words,
Ryan?
we are in Portland as leaders. This nepotism must stop. It should not be allowed to continue.
Shouldn't continue. Shouldn't continue. Talk to me, Ryan. Hold on. Let me see. Ryan? I'm not hearing Ryan. Or him freeze.
And he's gone.
Look like him freeze. Yeah, man. So we have to do the work, Doreen. And you're right. The nepotism must stop. We must bring it to the public. We must bring it to the public and stop this nepotism. Man, say you're too damn quiet. Get to the court and expose them. Let me bring back Ryan. Yeah, Ryan, go ahead.
Sorry about that. Yeah, so one of the things, so for me, Doreen and Colin, in Northeast Centre, the problem I'm having is that too much of the money that comes into the constituency or into Jamaica leaves the country because the focus is on foreign investment and not local business investment. So, like again, of the $4.4 billion that would have generated in tourism income last year, according to one estimate by the United Nations, one study, about 20% of that stays in Jamaica. So you're talking about 80% of that would leave the country. That can't be good for nation building. You understand? And that makes sense because if the top jobs are taken up by foreign expatriates are not going to invest in the foreign country. They're going to invest in their own country. So they come here and make the money here, but the money goes home to build their mansions abroad. And then our people get the crumbs that falls from the table, so that our workers can't even build their own house. Yes, and when as you know, a kid gets a job in St. Anne's Bay and travels to even Ocherias to work, by the time he or she calculates, taxi fare alone is going to cost them monthly about $40,000, and they're getting minimum wage. You understand? They can't invest. And most of these kids are they live on informal settlements, squatting lands, because they can't buy the big houses, the big 20 million, $30 million houses that being developed in the constituency. So so we're having a wealthy constituency, but the people in the constituency are poor. Money coming in, but the people in the constituency are not making it. So that's something that
the money don't stay. For an area to create wealth, the money have to stay in circulation in the area.
And it's not. That is one other thing. The next thing too is beach access. I know you guys will be experiencing that in East and West Portland, as we are in Northeast Center. That we have such beautiful shoreline in this country, right across the country, and yet less than 1% of our shoreline is accessible to Jamaica.
Wow.
Yes, less than 1%.
It's touch on that in a Dr. Ryan, and I remember going on a tour with Colin and got to the Blue Lagoon.
Yeah.
I got to the Blue Lagoon, and security guard walked me all over the property.
Security guard.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Security guard. Or people. Or is it that our people can't access the beach? One beach.
Council, but learn this on a parish council road.
Jesus.
Closed.
Yeah, man.
Closed.
Parish council road closed off by some private. That can't write. Yes, and who's going to stand up for our people? I mean, Little Dutch River now is the last one where we have a community group have to take government to court to keep it open. Yes, and now they're trying to open it one. Mr. Samuel to come down and open it one day a week, and I make it sound like the Little Dutch River is open to the public. One day a week.
Why?
That's amazing. Most of the other beach and Pearly Beach, you better you have a quicker access to the Pearly Gate than to Pearly Beach. Yeah, easier access to the Pearly Gate.
Why you can't go Pearly Beach?
Because it's privatized. It's you have to pay a fee going in. Yes,
what's the cost?
Orchard Bay Beach. I think it's between $500 to $1,000. Yes, sir. The same thing.
The truth is, my position, you see, is that
most of the beaches are closed off to our people.
Yeah, but you see, my position is that if government is not going to pay to keep the beach and there's a beach maintenance fund being charged, I don't have a problem with that. Because what we do at Boston Beach, we charge a beach maintenance fund where people pay $500 to come in. And when you come in, you get a clean environment, you get bathroom facility, you get shower facility, we have lifeguard. And hold on. And if you have your food, you're allowed to bring your food inside. Now, I know most of these places you can't bring in no food, but what we do, we provide the environment that says assist in keeping this area secure, keeping it clean. And between the hours of 9 to 6, we charge. After 9, before 9 a.m. and after 6 p.m., there's still full access to anybody who wants to access the beach.
Colin, I commend you for that as taking that initiative, and I think a lot of people are doing that. But government has a duty to its people. People have a fundamental right to access their beaches.
Yes.
It's one of our right as a Jamaican to have free access to our beaches. You understand? And the government has a duty. That's why we call it taxes. Government have a duty to make sure so the beaches are properly kept, maintained, without having to charge of people. Why should I pay if you go to a beach after me already pay a tax? Yes, amazing.
The government, once the government is in a position to do that, because when you go to Barbados,
they are in a position to do them, don't you not do it? Because they don't see it as a priority.
When you go to Barbados, you don't pay for go on the beach.
Other places, other countries do it. Bermuda has some of the most beautiful big sand beaches, and every Bermudan citizen have access to them. Yes, and then have to pay for going at them. Why should you have to charge to maintain the beach as a citizen? Yes, I'm saying the government has
government should do it.
The government should do that. Follow me.
My problem though, Comrade Bell, is that we have to stop so much of the talking.
Yeah.
We have to stop the talking as leaders, and we have to move our people into acting. It's action time.
Yeah.
We have to move away from all this talking. The only problem is that I am willing to lead my people into battle for the heart and soul of Western Portland. But how many of the people is willing to walk with you
Yeah.
and
That's the next
fight for
thing.
themselves
That's the
Yeah.
problem.
and
That's
fight
the
for
problem we have in
themselves?
Dorian. That's the next problem. We have fight for the people we have fight for. Them a fight we. They turn around and fight we. So
Oh
it's like
God.
with
Say that
one
again,
hand you have
Ryan.
fight off. With one hand you have fight for the people and next hand they use to fight them off from fighting you. And that's the big
Why
problem we
is
have.
it so?
Jesus peace, man. The people used to say we are trying to look out for them and them make sure so we don't fight for them. That's the biggest problem. So you stand up there, you're alone standing. You go there, and them to house and they tell you what the problem. And when they step out, they politicize it. Oh, politics. Yeah, so now they try to find a way to tear you down. That is the biggest problem we have. Don't talk about calling people to come protest no more because they now come with this. We're so selfish, so self-focused.
You know, I said to some youth the other day that if these were the days of slavery, we would have never get out of slavery because the people are so lazy they don't know how to fight for nothing.
Now fight for nothing.
I tell you
Nothing.
something. The people have gotten battle worn. The people want to fight, but they're too weak to fight. If you keep the people poor, they will always look to you for food, for energy. And that is what the last 17 years have done to Western Portland. They have made the people so weak they can't
so dependent
fight.
Yeah. So they put them in a position where their biggest priority is my next meal. The farthest I can see is this evening's dinner. I can't see beyond this evening's dinner. So I can't afford to fight in the future right now because my future is tonight. That's the only future I see is tonight.
Yeah.
That's
Tonight.
what
That's
it
the
is.
problem. That is the big
Tomorrow
When you
problem.
speaks
have
for
a
itself.
situation, when you have a
My poor about
situation,
tomorrow and tomorrow come because that's what my government put me. That's what my
absolutely,
leaders put me.
absolutely. When you have a situation where it's time for kids to go back to school, and the people are looking to you for 5 composition books, 2 composition books,
Mm-hmm.
and when the member of parliament gives them that, and them feel like he did them it's the greatest thing. It makes I have goosebumps. When if it was the days when you have your coffee and you can carry your planting out and get your planting sold, and you can get your food sold, you don't need no politician to give you.
The politician.
But you
Yes,
know what I saw? You know what I saw in East Portland? I give you this. I saw a leader came to East Portland and he said to the people of East Portland, when you come to me for a book voucher this year, I am going to give you the book voucher, but I'm going to also give you a goat. That's when you give a goat, then next year you're going to sell a goat to buy whatever books you need, and people shun him.
And today, this day, people still laugh after the man like
they shun him.
I mean, this is ridiculous.
Hold on. No, I can tell you the same people who criticize it and walk around and give you 1 and 2 goats.
Yeah.
So we have to educate the people. Somebody said in the chat room a while ago that education of the people is paramount. We have to educate them. And we have to bring them up to the level that self-reliance. When you want to buy a book for your child, you must be able to go to whichever bookstore you want. You want to buy a shoes, you must be able to go to whichever shoe store you want and not waiting on the politician to send you to a store. We have to move the thing forward. But, gentle people, an election is due by September of next year. How are you doing in terms of your work on the ground? Everybody ready? Everybody doing them work, getting ready for the election? It can be called anytime.
That's a good question. I live with the people. I stay with the people. The people get an opportunity to see me as many times as they want to see me. I don't take a helicopter to my constituency. I drive in there. When I go to Clavity Cottage, and I came down from Clavity Cottage, I had to stop when I came down off of the hill and allow my brain, Dr. Ryan, and my body to just settle down. Because my body was like this. My mind was like this. My whole body was aching from just visiting Cavity Cottage, coming down. Jigs Ennis left a good road from Halliwell section, coming down the Buff Bay Valley to Buff Bay. You don't want to see the Buff Bay Valley Road now.
No road not there.
No road not there. Yet still, the world-renowned Blue Mountain Bicycle Tour operates from the Buff Bay Valley. But there's no road there going up there. So what is gonna, that is another industry. That is not another part of the industry that might very well die, because it takes so much time just to get there, to ride down and come back down.
Yeah.
But I tell you something though, Comrade Bell. I don't know how many people is signed on to this program. I don't know how many people listening. But what I can say to the listeners, I am giving Western Portland my everything, my all. I am fighting to be that representative that will create that change to the people of Western Portland.
Yeah.
They have to fight with me. They have to help me to fight for them. The money that my opponent have, I don't have it. But what I can tell them, and I always have to go back to education, that when he came to Western Portland in 2007, he did not have the money he now have. He never have it, Dr. Ryan.
That is correct. So where you come from all of a sudden?
And I want them to understand that the millions of dollars that he gives and spends in the constituency every year is not coming from his pocket.
That's right.
And therefore, if you elect Doreen Campbell as your next member of parliament, the same resources that he's given to you now, the same money he's given to you now, is the same money
you will have
that will be allocated to you next year too, because it's not his money, it's taxpayers' money.
And you will spend it more judiciously and
more
better.
efficient.
And I will ensure that instead of it looking gracious and kind like I do in your favor, I will ensure that at least one child in every household who wants to go to college get that opportunity to go to college.
Yeah.
Yes.
I will ensure that if you have that child who passed for Buff Bay High School, Port Antonio, Titchfield, and if it's even as far as Campion College, that child gets the resources that they need. And I don't mean a handout.
Right.
I mean, we need to do for the parents. We need to do for the parents so the parents can do for their children.
Yeah.
Bring back integrity and honor to the household. Allow the man that is on the street to feel like a real man. Don't take away his manhood from him. So him have to come to you, come beg your money for sending Pitney go to school. Create opportunities for people. I'm very passionate about this, and I need to stop talking, because I will talk forever.
Let me jump in.
Yes.
I intend to fight to champion a lot of cause for my people in Northeast Centre. The squatting situation in many parts of the constituency, like Steertown and Seville Heights and Windsor Heights, those places. I intend to. We see a lot of people coming into the country and owning properties, and they're not even Jamaicans, and yet our people are struggling for 30, 40 years, and they have a title. They live on lands with them, or them bed and night, and can't sleep comfortable because they can't even get JPS to come install light there or water. We can't put in a road there because it's squatting land. I intend to champion that cause to make sure that my people are also know that as a Jamaican, them have a right live freely on the land. So that's one of the fights that I'm going to be taking on. The whole the squatting situation, have to formalize some of these squatting land and give our people a title, so they can proud to be to say I own a piece of the land.
Yes.
We have a lot of like I said, we make a lot of money. A lot of money comes to the constituency per year from tourism, and yet we have a lot of people in the tourism industry who are not benefiting. Our craft traders, for example, we have 8 craft market, over 8,000 craft vendors in our orchards. And when cruise ships come to the harbor, the craft markets are like ghost town. I'm gonna make sure that business come back into the craft market.
Yes.
Our people have to benefit from this tourism product. Can't be just a foreign man and make a money and enrich themselves and live. And our people can't build their house after them build the tourism industry, and then build the craft industry, and yet you have craft, Jamaican craft is being created in China and are sold by people who can't even speak Jamaican language. Or the wholesalers now who come at the craft market on a Tuesday and a Thursday to sell our craft traders' craft are not even Jamaican. That's a madness. Yes, and they can barely speak English, but them sell craft to our craft traders to sell it back to us. So me I gonna make sure me fight to fix that. And make sure that business come back in the craft market. Them not orchards is a major. Orchards is a dump, man. To be the second biggest tourism city in Jamaica, it's a dump. Look like a tourist town, and we have to fix that. We have to bring it up to speed to the 21st century, what a tourism town should look like when you travel abroad and go to other, to certain places where tourist city, it look like that, safe and beautified, and you understand what I'm saying? So those are some things I'm gonna fight for. I'm gonna fight for protection of our Jamaican jobs. And this whole contract thing where we employ all people on contracts and them working 11 months and then have to leave, while we have foreign people come here and them get tenure and them have full salary and full that have to got cut out. That is something we go fight to cut out, because our people we have to look out for ourselves. It has to be Jamaica first and Jamaica for Jamaicans. You can't be out of many one people, but the many way suffer at the
I just the one person that benefit, and
the one person. Exactly, one person that benefit. So these are some of the things where when we are bring affordable housing. I mean, you see the Prime Minister run around and I do a one house every month and make it, and as Damon Crawford said, he's building a narrative when he should be building a nation.
Yes.
So many houses.
One of the things you have to go fix is the internet connection down there to Ryan.
Yeah, but I mean, internet terrible, man, as you can see.
Yes.
The internet is really terrible. But I mean, we have a lot of housing solutions going up in the Northeast Center, but guess what? Our people can't afford them.
Can't
afford them. Yes, and
underemployment is a problem.
Oh, and that's another thing. Yes, so what a thing needs to happen. In terms of readiness for the next election, I'm very confident that Northeast Center is coming back into the column of the People's National Party. Yes, and I think the people are ready for it. And I'm, as Doreen and like you, Colin, I'm a son of Northeast Center. I'm a son of St. Anne. Grew up in St. Anne, families in St. Anne. I live in St. Anne, live in Northeast Center, and I can vote in Northeast Center. And I don't have to give one little address and one little cubby hole where I live as my address. Where my address is, that's where I live. That's where I pay my bill. You understand? So I'm a boy. I'm from the. When I go to work in Kingston, I come back home.
All
St. Margaret Center is my home.
Well, I've been telling the people that I continue to fight and to represent the people of East Portland. We have a number of things that we need to get done so that we can move our people forward, create opportunities, both job opportunities and business opportunities for the people down here in East Portland. We have a type C hospital in the constituency that serves the entire parish. That is not adequate. And we are saying, in fact, I was at a function with Dr. Ray Fraser, just Thursday in Kingston. Ray Fraser is the man who really saw to the development of the Anatomy Hospital up to a
I haven't seen him in a long time.
We were at a function together. We had some real good reasoning with him on Thursday evening. And we are going to ensure that we use the same blueprint to really upgrade the Port Antonio Hospital to a Type B facility that our people can get better health care. We are going to develop the World Reggae Park on Navy Island so as to bring more visitors into Port Antonio and really to twin that with the culture and the creative industry, which is something that is going to also benefit both your constituencies when we really start growing the culture and the creative industry, start exporting more of our culture to ensure that our people earn more. Presently, Jamaicans are on average are earning under $6,000 per year. And if we really grow the tourism industry where we get more from it, Ryan, keep more Jamaicans really getting the bigger paying jobs, and then we twin that with the culture and the creative industry where that now most of that money will stay in Jamaica, because as we develop that industry, our creatives are really our people. More Jamaicans now will be getting wealthy from really their talent and the whole aspect of culture. Because you see, for too long, we've been sitting on this oil mine and not really exploiting it and getting the most from it. So when we set up a World Reggae Park in Port Antonio, reggae now, you hear other music of a star on the Walk of Fame and them have this and that. Reggae will have its own island. So people will come to Jamaica for reggae in a safe environment, secure on Navy Island. It's 78 acres of land over there. And when we develop that, put a statue of all the reggae icon on the island, digitize the statue so that you can download digital memorabilia from
one thing I can tell
when
you,
you go to the island, legalize marijuana over there, and then we have that mega liners pier, the East Harbour.
That's a big dream, bro.
Will be booming, and that's why I said to you that the people are buying up the land because they hear the vision, and the people of East Portland are ready. They are planning to vote out that nepotism that we spoke about, Comrade Doreen, but we must do something about it as leaders to ensure that it stops, that the people who are here get a fair chance to manage some of the things as well.
I want it stopped now.
Yes.
I don't want it stopped after the project is completed. That nepotism that is taking place down there now,
we need to get
it must stop. We must put a stop to it.
Yes.
But before, I don't know when your program ends.
Well, we have another 10 minutes to go.
Okay, all right. Let me reserve what I was gonna say, because I want to say that as my last thing before I go.
So we are saying, you know, that to the young people who are clamoring, a lot of people are saying that what is it the PNP going to do different? One of the things that we are aiming to do that is on the table is really to ensure that our artists, our artisans, sound system owners and promoters really now start getting an opportunity to earn real big money from the industry that they are involved in. It's an industry that a lot of people, they were not seeing it. And we are saying that Jamaica can earn easily $30 billion annually from the culture and the creative industry. And we are setting up some forum, Comrade Campbell, and some webinars that people can get access to some of these information, because we are willing to sit down and really answer some of the questions. And we keep saying some of the questions because the fine points of what it is that the PNP is going to be implementing to make this happen will not be exposed before the right time.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. When you look at West Portland and the fact that we have the beautiful Blue Mountain.
The high peak.
The beautiful Blue Mountain. That even in the summer you go up there, it don't feel like summer. Because it's still cool. And if you dare go into a Cascade community in somewhere in November to December, just know you have to wear a winter coat.
Yeah.
Real winter coat. Right? But we have forgotten that the rest of the world have moved to a type of tourism that is about greenery.
Ecotourism.
Right? It's about greenery. We call it ecotourism, but really and truly, to the man and the woman up in the hills, it's a way to promote their community. So community tourism through ecotourism is also another way of promoting and improving the financial life of our normal people in Western Portland. But again, it's going to come back to how do people access these places? The road condition is bad.
Yeah.
It's just bad.
Well,
I have,
When
I
the
have, I have a
election, the
listener,
last
I have a
election,
listener who wants to
hold on.
ask you both a few questions, so I'll go and bring him in. But go ahead, finish.
The last election, I want somebody to explain to me and the country where all that money came from.
Yeah.
To fix the roads in such
Yeah.
short order.
Yeah.
In such short order, and one shower of rain,
Tear it up.
It teared up.
it disappeared. Where did that
Well,
money come from?
Look out for the money spending again, and more we people to understand. Say, money I got spend again, especially in the one this election.
I don't even worry about the
They
money.
always are going to spend money because that's
I
their
don't-
way. That's the
But
only way they
our
know.
people need to. I think our people need to rise up now and realize that the spending only happen once every 5 years. Yeah, understand? And we have to change that.
I have been on the ground, and I have come to realize the people waiting on the money this time. And they can come this time with 3,000 and 2,000 and 5,000. The people them want 20,000.
But even then,
50,000.
I want the people to understand that 20,000, 50,000 amounts to nothing when in a 5 years period. That money going to be done in a couple of days, if not a day. And what happens 5 years later? What happens during that? We have ridiculous people that can't afford to sell out in future. Sell out in future for 20,000 and 50,000. Yeah,
I don't go for them future them myself. If I did for them future alone,
nation building we talk about. Yes.
But my member of parliament in West Portland tell the people say I'm last election this.
So
this
what
time
is
last election.
Where more do him? Him no need to run again then. 17 years him couldn't do it. Him need to just step out, pack him bag and go out with Nigel.
So that's the question I'm asking. If for the past 17 years you have done nothing to change,
so he's gonna leave
the lives.
He's gonna leave Doreen, and the question is gonna be, what is his legacy? What is it that you gonna be able to now take on to build upon? What is his legacy after 17 years?
And why should the people of West Portland put you back for another 5 years?
Exactly. What has he done to earn another 5 years?
You know what Jamaica don't know? The Hurricane Beryl came. And I want them to tell me where in West Portland them seen since the storm blow. No interest in even visiting the people and showing some form of care. None.
You say you have some questions, Colin?
No, a listener, Conrad wanted to come in and ask a few questions, but I'm still waiting on him. I don't see him in the waiting room yet. So he wanted to come in and ask a few questions. All right, I see him now. So I could go to him because we only have a few minutes leave. Conrad, morning.
Hi, morning, Shaka. How you doing?
We're good, man. We have Comrade Doreen Campbell, candidate for West Portland and Deputy Shadow Minister on Tourism. We have Dr. Ryan Simpson from Northeast Centre and Deputy Shadow Minister on Information. Go ahead.
Hi, Doreen. How you doing? Morning.
I am good. I'm good. Morning.
Good. And to my brother and friend, how are you, man?
Hey, Conrad. Great to see you, man. I'm well. I'm doing well.
Good. A few things because I've been listening and I heard the conversation. You guys really highlighting the ills of the government, the member of parliament, and so on and so forth. I heard Doreen earlier talking about the single high school in her constituency. And indeed, it's a darn shame. And I believe that this is one that the minister and MP for West Portland should be very, very ashamed. One high school, that should be the beacon of the high school. Titchfield, which is the premier high school in the parish, should be playing catch up with that high school that you talk about, because it is the single high school in the Minister and MP constituency. So that I want to highlight first of all. Ryan, I know that you have been championing the cause over there for the craft vendors and so on over there in Portland. So I understand, and SHACKA, who is basically can be described as a staple on my program and other program, carrying the fight, setting the agenda for the creative industry and so on, which I believe that he is onto something big. This is can move Jamaica in a very, very seismic way. But you know, I am going to put some stuff to you guys on the PNP side, because while this election is for the PNP to lose, because all in all, when I move across the length and breadth of Jamaica, when on my program, the callers and so on, it seems as if it's the people have already turned their back on the Holness administration. But the concern from some people is that they are not seeing the PNP representative as they would like to see them. They are not hearing from the spokesperson as they would want to hear them, and so on and so forth. Those are some other things. So I don't know if you are cited in this, but certainly, isn't there a concern on your part that you're not hearing from your spokespersons enough? Some of your candidates may not be in the constituency as you are too.
You know, that's I'm happy you touched on that, and let if it's okay with Comrade Bell, I would love to jump out on that.
Yeah, man, go ahead.
You know, I don't remember your name. What's your name?
Conrad.
My name is Conrad O'Brien. Talk show host, Newstalk 93 FM. Straight up.
Oh, hi. My pleasure. My pleasure.
Delighted.
But I have written a number of releases. I have spoken out about a number of things.
Mm-hmm.
None, probably one or two, Colin, I don't remember, that got some form of airplay. This week, as a matter of fact, yesterday, I wrote a particular person to ask if there's a catch and kill going on. Because it's not for want of speaking. I sent out a release yesterday morning about the plight of the Buff Bay High School. And I don't want to tell you what has happened since I sent that release, but the release has not been released.
Okay.
Phone calls have been running behind the scene. Who is upset and angry? Who tells me all this information? Who give me all these information? Driving fear into the school. How dare them say ABC? I don't call names on program, but the bottom line, I have to ask, is there a catch and kill going on in Jamaica as it relates to some politician? You can't say nothing bad or something that is not friendly against certain politicians. Because I can tell you, Sir Conrad, I speak out. I am not afraid to speak out. This is a constituency I am committed to. And the people are not hearing us because the avenues, some of the avenues have been closed. So when Comrade Bell called me this morning and said to me, would you like to join? Ask Comrade Bell. I never said no.
Never
hesitate. I saw this as an opportunity, Sir Conrad, to speak on behalf of the people of Western Portland, a constituency that I have served for over 32 years. I have served the people of Western Portland.
Well, I must say, your beard look like.
Hold on, Obi. Dr. Simpson want to come in.
Yeah, Obi. So let me jump in and say, Conrad, I've come to the realization that campaigning is a local thing. So you may not see me very strongly on the national platform doing much, but locally on the ground, we are making headways. You know, I take it more very seriously. I'd rather more people see me doing things in my constituency than the nation see me doing things in my constituency not seeing me. Because at the end of the day, we're campaigning on the local level. Can I be out? Could I be out there a lot more than I really am now? Absolutely, yes. But you have to understand that, as Comrade Colin will tell you, as Comrade Doreen will tell you, the moment you set foot in a constituency, you hemorrhage money. You know, the people will tell you they're not seeing you enough and they want to see you. And most of the time when they say they want to see you, it's not really you they want to see, is your pocket. You understand what I'm saying? It burns your pocket when you go out there. And so
Get a little closer to the phone, Ryan. We're not hearing you so clear.
sorry.
Yeah.
We have to be very prudent when we campaign, because every day you spend out there, you're spending an average of between $20,000 to $75,000 a day when you're out there. It's very costly, and so especially, you know, I've been out there for the last 2 years, and we have another year to go before an election. So we have to also be very, very prudent in terms of how we go out and campaign. So seeing me also means a lot of heavy spending. I remember we're spending out of pocket. You understand? But we're doing, you know, I personally, if I want to say, I maximize my presence, and when I go out there, I make it count. But of course, you're gonna always hear the people saying that they're not seeing you enough. No, they can't. Even the same people you see 2-3 times, and they say, "Boy, I miss you last month." You know, I mean, I see you again, and they forget also that it's a big constituency that you have to cover.
Okay. May I come in now, Colin?
Yeah, man. Go ahead, Obi.
All right. Thanks for the response for both of you. I'm going to just offer you a bit of advice, unsolicited. Maybe I'll send you the invoice down the road, but that's something we can talk about. Now, Doreen, I listen to you carefully, and I hear the passion coming from you. Similarly with Dr. Simpson. And Dr. Simpson, I know that you have been doing your bit. I think what happened is that, you know, you have to design a strategy as to how you get yourself out there. Because if you decide that because of the money, you're going to be timid and you're not going to be out there, then that in itself can be an issue. But where I want to go exactly is to address what Doreen said about her sending the release and doing whatever. There is a department in media houses that called the newsroom and the editorial function. Now, whatever you send out there, it depends on what the editor decide to put out there. That's what get the play. Now, if you segue from that, and I think that I would advise you to take a PPIP approach. That's a former member of parliament down there in St. Mary, Harry Douglas, that they call PPIP. And also what Colin does too, take your phone up, call the talk shows. Don't wait, or call the media. Don't wait for the editor or the host or the producer to call you. Once you come on, whether it's my program or any other program, you will be identified, because once you call as the caretaker, spokesperson for the PNP, caretaker for the constituency, you're going to be identified. I can't stop you from highlighting the point, or no other host can stop you from highlighting the points that you want to, so long as you're not slandering anyone. So it's an avenue for you to get your message out. When you send release, it's at the discretion of the editor, the newsroom, as to what goes out. So I'll humble submit that you do that. There's also another method to the madness as well. You have to design a strategy, whether you're going to empowering 10, 20 or so persons within your constituency. When I empower them, so they have the means to basically reach out to these programs, so you can get your message out. That's some of the things that I would suggest that you'd have to do, because frankly speaking, if you're waiting on the media house to basically carry your release, I get a lot of them, and you never hear them come in the news and so on, because they are not priority. And that's how it goes. When you're in government, your release as you send them out. You get priority. So you have to find a method as to how you get your message out.
Obi,
Right.
one final
Colin,
question before we're wrapping
before
up.
you do that, my battery is dying and my phone is overheating. Sir.
Right, so that's why I said we're wrapping up right now. So if you have a final question, Obi, that gonna be it.
No, I just asked, since you understand that constitutionally there is a year to go for the election, but in truth and in fact the Prime Minister has it within his gift to go to the people at any time. This
Right.
conference coming up will be the final for both political parties. How ready are you guys in your constituency to take on a snap election if the Prime Minister should decide to go that route?
Can I jump in first since my battery's about to die?
Yeah, man, go ahead, Ryan.
In terms of readiness, I would say we are about 75% ready. Meaning, from a worker perspective, from a canvas perspective, from a mobilization perspective, I feel confident that if he calls a snap election now, we are fairly ready to take him on and to go for a win.
Beautiful, Doreen.
Okay.
You know, I wish I could say I was 75% ready. I can't say I'm 75% ready, Sir Conrad. Because a massive part of my readiness, is funding. And I've come to recognize that the persons who I reach out to for funding, they're all afraid because of who I am running against. Jamaica is at a point where people, they are afraid to provide the funding that I need to take on Goliath. So it simply means that just like in the United States, where they go through the crowdfunding, where Kamala can say, I ask you for $10.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I have not been able to get it done. I don't know what the banking system is in Jamaica, but I've not been able to get it done. But I am reaching out and I'm calling out to Jamaicans to understand. I am not afraid to say that I need your support financially, because I do. I have what it takes to be the representative of Western Portland. And I have the vision and the passion to serve and to lift the spirit and the dignity of the people of Western Portland. But I need the support and the financial support of every little mother and every little father and every little brother and every little man and woman out there to make this happen. Because it is going to require serious funding. Because the big boys that you would expect to help me is not going to help me because they're afraid that their businesses. So big money people is not going to come behind Doreen, even though Doreen is the right person to be the member of parliament for Western Portland. So my final thing before you go, Dr. Ryan, is to say to Jamaica, stand with me. Stand with me. Help me to finance the next election. Yeah. Because the numbers on the voters list, Sir Conrad, says to me that with the funding that is needed to support the ground game that is taking place and the groundswell and the orange wave that is taking place in West Portland right now, that groundswell lies in the hands of the people of Jamaica and the diaspora. Help me to fund my campaign, because the big boys is not helping me and they will never help me out of fear. I ask for that help as I stand on this program.
Lady and gentlemen, I want to thank you very much.
Shaka, just 30 seconds.
Go ahead.
I am indeed heartened and delighted of what Doreen said just now. And I'm commending what happened in the United States. When Kamala was put at the head of the ticket, she raised, I think it was $60-something million within a 24 to 48 hour period.
Yes.
And I think about 60% of it came from grassroots donors.
$10,
I am saying to the people, of Jamaica, both here at home and abroad.
Mhm.
Get involved, and I'm not speaking in a partisan way here because people must know where they want to put their support. But
Yes.
get involved. Look at the best person, the person who have your interests at heart, and get involved in this crowdfunding. Doreen, you probably need some people to help you to get you up on the various grids so that this kind of donation can come in and put your things out there, because transparency is the hallmark of how we move with things. I commend the same thing for you both, SHACKA and Colin, because and Ryan, because you're all candidates as well.
Thank you. Thank you. Our money will not be able to match our opponents, Doreen, but I'm not deterred or detoured or discouraged by the lack thereof. You know, I believe we will win. We will win for our hard work that we're going to put in, and despite the fact that we do have people who are cowards or cowardly in coming behind us because of who we're up against. But don't let money discourage you. Well, it is gonna come.
Good.
All right. So Obi, we have a GoFundMe page up. That's what we are saying to people. If you want to give us a $20 or $10, go on our GoFundMe page. It's East Portland Rescue Mission, Colin Bell, and you can contribute to our campaign because we need your support. I mean, Doreen is fighting against Goliath, but me against Goliath's wife. So it's a fighting Goliath.
So who am I against?
Colin,
Yeah.
can I beg you a 5-second plug, please? Just to say that Monday coming. On my program, Straight Up News Talk 93 FM, my spotlight guest will be the Shadow Minister of Energy, Mr. Philip Paulwell. We'll be talking to him about this recent discussion in the public domain about the possibility of oil being found in Jamaica and so on. Remember now that exploration was signed off by Philip when he was Minister of Energy in 2015. So he will have a lot to say, and I'm inviting you all. Once you have a smartphone in hand, you can listen to me. All you have to say to Google, News Talk 93 FM live online. My program begins at 9 o'clock. But my guest, Philip Paulwell, will be on at 10:10 a.m.
Are you talking about the possible oil find? Because I just want to say to people, the man is not an oil find. There's a prospect. When you're searching for oil, you have what you call a prospect. And right now, there's a prospect, even though they're trying to tell us that there's nothing. So, good program to listen to 10 minutes after 10 o'clock Monday morning on News Talk 93 FM. Doreen, thank you much for being on. Ryan, thanks much, and thanks, Conrad. We want to thanks to all the viewers and listeners this morning.
Yes, it's a pleasure. Bye-bye. Take care. God bless you. God bless you,
on all the platforms. So, one love until we meet again next week. May the good Lord continue to bless and keep you. Make his face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. The Lord lift up his light and give you his peace now and forevermore. Until we meet again next week. Peace out.
All right.
Blessings.